You walk through the sliding automatic doors. In your head, you repeat the list: milk, eggs, bread. 15 minutes later, you're staring at a receipt for $140, wondering how you ended up with an artisanal candle, a magazine, and 2 bags of organic trail mix. You might think you simply lack willpower, but retail data shows that for every $10 a shopper plans to spend, they spend an average of $5.50 on completely unplanned items. That extra spending is a mathematical certainty built into the building itself. Modern grocery stores are engineered using the exact same principles as a Las Vegas casino. Every square inch of the floor plan is calibrated to override your logical intentions and extract maximum revenue. Retail psychologists call this the Gruen Effect. Named after architect Victor Gruen, it is a psychological phenomenon where intentionally confusing architecture overwhelms your senses, causing you to lose your original intent and wander aimlessly into making impulse purchases. The irony is that Gruen originally invented the modern shopping center to be a walkable, community-focused town square. Instead, commercial developers stripped away his civic ideas and weaponized the enclosed spaces solely to maximize consumption. The casino tactics begin the moment you enter. Notice the missing windows and absolutely no clocks. The store deliberately cuts you off from the natural world to create temporal disorientation. When you lose track of time, you stop rushing. Your local supermarket functions as an adversarial psychological maze, designed to dismantle your willpower the moment you step inside. The foundational rule of grocery store design: make customers walk past as much merchandise as possible. There's a reason dairy is at the furthest point. Placing essentials at the back forces you to navigate a gauntlet of highly profitable impulse zones. Even the cart you push is manipulating you. Over the past few decades, shopping carts have grown 40% larger. An oversized, mostly empty cart triggers a primordial human instinct to hoard food, subtly encouraging you to buy more simply to fill the negative space. But the floor plan is only the visible layer of the maze. The store is also actively hijacking your senses to alter your physical behavior without you noticing. Retail studies demonstrate that playing slow-tempo background music actively reduces the speed of your walking pace. Shoppers subconsciously match the rhythm of the music, resulting in people staying in the store up to 38% longer. At the same time, ventilation systems pump the smell of the bakery toward the entrance to trigger hunger hormones. Store managers even keep the ambient temperature uncomfortably cooled because clinical trials show that physical discomfort pushes human beings to make rapid, emotion-based purchasing decisions. Every ambient sound, every specific scent, and deliberate temperature drop is calculated to lower your rational defenses and extend the duration of the visit. Once they have you in the aisle, the manipulation shifts to the vertical axis. Where a product sits on a shelf dictates exactly how well it sells, and that space is heavily monetized. Retailers operate on a principle called eye level is buy level. Premium name brands pay millions of dollars in slotting fees to ensure their products sit directly in the natural sightline of an adult shopper. Meanwhile, the store brand versions, which often cost significantly less for the exact same ingredients, are pushed to the top or bottom shelves. They require you to physically crouch down or stretch up to find the better value. This vertical targeting is exceptionally precise. High-margin, brightly colored sugary cereals and candies are positioned explicitly at a child's lower eye level. The goal is to catch their attention and force the parent into a negotiation, bypassing adult logic entirely. Eventually, you finish navigating the aisles, but to exit the building, you have to survive the final and most profitable obstacle. After making dozens of micro-decisions, comparing prices and brands, your brain enters a state known as decision fatigue. This is a psychological condition where your cognitive willpower is completely depleted from making continuous choices. The checkout lane is deliberately built to be narrow, physically trapping you in a slow-moving line. As you stand there exhausted, you are surrounded by gum, candy, and magazines, items engineered to yield 40 to 60% profit margins. The store waits until you are completely stationary, bored, and cognitively vulnerable to present its most tempting distractions. Throwing a candy bar or a magazine into your cart feels harmless in the moment, but this calculated extraction drains serious wealth over time. This chart visualizes the compounding financial cost of those micro-decisions. If we assume that just half of your impulse buys are completely unnecessary, that subtle extraction adds up to roughly $64,000 lost over a 30-year span. To stop losing money, you have to treat the grocery store the way a professional card counter treats a blackjack table. You need a strict system. First, shop the perimeter. The outer edges of the store contain the whole foods, fresh produce, meat, and dairy. Aggressively avoid the center aisles, where the highly processed, high-margin items are concentrated. Second, break the eye-level rule. Train yourself to look up and look down for better value before you grab the first item placed directly in front of your face. Third, mitigate your vulnerabilities before you walk through the sliding doors. Eat a meal so hunger doesn't impair your judgment. Stick rigidly to a written list, and use the self-checkout to bypass the narrow candy gauntlet. Recognizing this hidden architecture turns you from a target into a strategist. You are no longer navigating a utility, but an engineered environment you can successfully beat.